So I'm flipping through a magazine, or I was on the internet or somewhere. I don't know where I found this. But I saw a recipe for key lime pie. I'm like, key lime pie. Wow, it's very popular. I love it, and I've never tried to make it. I always think that the name of something just, for some reason, sounds difficult. Well, this had like simple ingredients, easy to do. I'm like, that's it? So I brought it on the show. So let's try and make some key lime pie. And it doesn't ask you to bake this. It's just a cold made dish. So we're gonna bake the crust first, but then when we dump the filling in, we're just gonna let it chill. All right, so it's really simple. Obviously the crust is gonna require graham crackers. You got egg yolks. We're not gonna use the whites. I may save those and scramble those up later. You got the butter, you got the heavy cream, the sweetened condensed milk. These are the key limes. You've seen these little tiny ones? Yeah, I get to squeeze about 12 of those. Need about half a cup of juice out of that. And obviously some sugar to make it a dessert product. All right, let's try it. Now, there's a few things you always do when you're baking. Number one, you always preheat your oven, so go preheat it right now at 350. Number two, when you're going to do measurements, make sure they're exact on baking. Baking is a science. So when it's 3 tablespoons of sugar, you want to make sure it's exactly 3 tablespoons. Where when you're cooking in the kitchen normally, you can throw in a little extra oregano or whatever in the food you're cooking for dinner, but baking is a science. So I always do my dry ingredients together. Make sure your hands are clean, or you can use a whisk or a fork or anything you want. I'm gonna mix in the sugar first. Always mix your dry together, get that all together, and then you incorporate the wet. Then we're gonna drop the butter in and make our crust. So you're gonna get a little bit messy in this part here. I'm gonna break the butter up as best as possible. Make sure it's at room temperature. Now once it starts to feel like a wet sand, make sure all the butter is incorporated into all the breadcrumbs. We're then gonna place it in the dish, and we're gonna form it with our hands. And you're gonna spread the love around. Okay, to me, that's probably the hardest part of this whole recipe, is doing a fresh crust. That's why people buy them. So I took my time. It's a little thin, but I followed the recipe, so I think it looks pretty good. So let's get this in the oven and cook it. You're gonna bake this just for a little bit. This will firm up the crust and make it a real crust. Okay, so we're gonna combine the eggs, the yolks, not the whites, the juice, and this good stuff. We're gonna do 5 minutes on a medium high. Okay, put that over here for right now. All right, so we're gonna pour this in. There we go. All right. And then we're going to let this chill in the refrigerator for 6 hours to overnight, but I'm going to let it chill overnight. Before you put this in the fridge, you want to cover it like this with some plastic wrap, but don't let the plastic wrap touch the pie. It may be a little difficult. You might need somebody to help you pull it nice and tight. Okay, before we take the key lime pie out, we're going to quickly make some fresh whipped cream. Get some heavy whipping cream and sugar. Get all in there. And then mix it till your arm breaks. Okay, so then when you realize this was a stupid move to do it by hand, you break out the other whisk. And you don't do it by hand. Oh, much better. That's what I'm talking about. All right, does it leave peaks? Not yet. Almost done. All right, that looks a little better. See how it doesn't flatten? Looks good. And there it is. Key lime pie. Let's slice it up right now and take a look and see how it looks and how it tastes. Okay, so from what I can see is mine didn't set quite as much as I'd like it to, but the crust stayed intact, whipped cream's on top. This should be a little more solidified, but I'm pretty happy with it for my first try. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. If there's a bit more tips that I didn't show in the video, put them down below. Also, can anybody tell me the difference between key lime juice and lime juice? Because I almost ran out of key limes and had to go to the store and probably get some limes, but I kept squeezing and squeezing. So tell me, I couldn't find a difference on the internet. What's the difference? Is it flavor? Oh, wow. Oh, man, my glands. Oh, that is different. That isn't like lime juice. Never mind. It's almost like a mixture of orange juice and lime juice. Yeah, key lime pie. Love. All right. I'm going to finish this. I will see you guys on the next episode. You take care.